This video is a review of Canon's fiscal year 2025 first quarter financial results, period from January 2025 to March 2025. Canon Inc. is a Japanese multinational corporation specializing in imaging and optical products, including cameras, printers, scanners, medical equipment, and semiconductor manufacturing equipment. 2025 first quarter review. In the first quarter, strong U.S. economic activity helped offset weakness in Europe and China, keeping the global economy stable. Canon saw nearly 30% growth in network camera sales and double-digit growth in laser printers and cameras, along with over 10% growth in semiconductor lithography equipment. This led to a 7.1% increase in net sales, its highest ever for a first quarter. Operating profit rose over 20% due to both higher sales and structural reforms, pushing the profit margin to a 10-year high of 9.1%. Overall, Canon maintained strong momentum from last year. Profit and loss. In the first quarter, net sales rose by 7.1% to 1,058 billion yen, although gross profit margin declined by 1.1 points. Operating expenses as a percentage of sales dropped by 2.1 points, helped by last year's sales structure reforms. As a result, both operating profit and net income saw significant growth, each increasing by 20.5% to 96.5 billion yen and 72.2 billion yen, respectively. Operating profit analysis. Compared to the same period last year, operating profit increased by 16.4 billion yen, or 20.5%, reaching 96.5 billion yen. While currency exchange rate effects were mostly neutral, increased sales in the printing and imaging groups positively impacted profit by 19.9 billion yen. Selling prices and costs had little net effect, and although personnel and development costs rose, operating expenses were kept largely in check, rising only 4.3 billion yen, thanks to sales expense structure reforms. Financial results by business unit. By business unit, the printing segment saw a 5.3% sales increase and improved its profit margin to 12.0%, driven by strong sales of commercial printers, growth in IT solutions, and stable laser printer performance. Inkjet printer sales also rose, particularly in emerging markets. In the medical unit, sales grew 2.3%, especially in Asia and South America, and the profit margin improved to 4.9% due to higher sales and early effects of ongoing reforms. The imaging unit experienced strong growth, with a 20.8% sales increase and a significant profit boost, thanks to rising demand for both high-end and entry-level cameras, and steady network camera sales. In the industrial segment, despite stable overall sales compared to last year, Canon sold 56 semiconductor lithography units and increased FPD equipment sales, while shifting focus to larger IT panel systems. Impact of U.S. tariff policy. The outlook for the full year is uncertain due to the potential impact of additional U.S. tariffs, which are still under negotiation and could affect tariff rates, applicable items, and the broader economy. Since the company's U.S. sales exceed 1.2 trillion yen and it has limited U.S. production, the impact is expected to be significant. Based on the assumption of a 10% tariff from April through year-end, Canon has factored in possible effects on sales and profits, including reduced demand and sales volume. However, these projections are tentative and may change depending on the outcome of future trade talks. 2025 financial projection. Since the impact of the additional U.S. tariffs is still uncertain, Canon has estimated their effect at a high level and included it in the Others and Corporate segment, rather than allocating it to specific business units. Canon expects higher costs from new U.S. tariffs, but plans to offset some of that by raising prices. However, this may lead to lower demand and fewer sales. A stronger yen is also expected to negatively affect results. Because of these challenges, they've lowered their full-year forecast slightly. Nevertheless, Canon still expects year-over-year growth, with net sales up 3.1% to 4.65 trillion yen, operating profit up 4.8% to 466 billion yen, and net income up 2.4% to 333 billion yen. Stock price. This is the Japanese yen base chart for the last 1 year. The Japanese yen stock price is 4,332 yen as of April 25th, and the US dollar stock price is $29.5 as of April 24th. Current PBR is 1.25 and PER is 12.0. Dividend yield is 3.69%. Compared to the last few years, PBR and PER are relatively higher, and dividend yield is about the same. As the stock price continues to rise, the PBR and PER have become relatively high compared to the past, making the stock appear more expensive. However, since the dividend amount has also been steadily increasing, the dividend yield remains at a similar level to that of previous years. Conclusion. Canon's 2025 first quarter financial results showed strong results, with both sales and profit increasing compared to the previous year. However, since a large portion of its sales come from the U.S., future performance is likely to be heavily affected by changes in U.S. tariffs and exchange rates. If the tariff issues are resolved, it's likely that profit growth will continue in the future.